everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tiffy and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I created some of the costume for my Mad Desert shoot with cosmic confetti. So today we're going to cover the harness that I wore, the lace scarf piece, and the belt skirt accessory. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. You guys really love the shoot. These can always be altered because you normally wouldn't wear this in your everyday life, but you can alter them and wear them however you like, or even use it for a costume. But let's go ahead and get started in the tutorial. So you're gonna need some fabric. I am using this lace fabric and I think it was in the curtain section. You're also going to be needing some scissors, some needles, and a needle and thread.
Cut out a half circle of your fabric, and what we did was just measured it on your arm. You can kind of place it on your arm, see how far you want it to go, and then go ahead and tack it down. So then we grab the other part of the half circle. It's okay if it's like kind of uneven. It's meant to look tattered. And this is going to act as a scarf. Gonna place it around, and this is gonna wrap around the back, something like this. We're gonna tack down this side, and this is going to attach to this. So we're gonna sew these two together. We're gonna tack these down. So now what I've done is I've just grabbed the other side and just kind of bunched up what I wanted, and I'm gonna use this brown leather just because it'll add some pretty textures. So all I'm gonna do is bunch it together, and we're just gonna tie it in a knot.
So now once you have that tied in a knot, the way that you're going to attach it is just tie it around the other half of the scarf. So that completes the scarf portion that we created. For the harness, you're going to be needing some sort of leather fabric. I'm not using leather because it's really pricey. I'm just using vinyl, and we are going to give it the effect of leather. So what we're gonna do with the vinyl is we are going to cut strips for the harness, and I'm just measuring this out with a fabric marker, and I'm just drawing a line. So we're gonna cut some strips out. So I went ahead and cut out 4 different pieces that look like this. This is 2 inches thick. And depending on where you're using this harness, the length will vary. So I just got 2 yards. Just the more you have, the better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold each of the ends inwards, and we're going to hem the edges in. So I'm gonna do this off camera, and I just went ahead and did this with a sewing machine, and it looks something like this. And you're gonna go ahead and repeat that for the other side and do this for all 4 of the strips. So now what I've done is I went ahead and grabbed one of these strips and I measured it around my waist, and I put a needle right on the edge to know the size. So this is going to act as the belt portion. And then I went ahead and cut it and hemmed it, and we're going to add in some little clasps so that we can snap it together. So I decided that I wanted 2 snaps so that we can adjust it any way that I like. And here are the little snaps. I found these at Joann's, and for 1 snap you are going to need 4 of them. So you should have something that looks like this. This is my first time working with these. And you also need another tool that's going to clamp them down together. So if you go out and buy these, it should be in the same area. So now what I'm doing is just inserting the snap. It has these little teeth so you can poke it through your material. Then you're going to place the other half on top of this and use your clamp to clamp it down to hold it in place. Next, I'm doing the same thing for the opposite side, but using the top portion of the clamp. And we're going to clamp it down in place. And now you have 2 little snaps that can snap together, and this is going to act as the belt. So you can add as many as you like, and they should snap together just like this. But we did 2 of them. So now what I'm gonna do is work on the shoulder portion, and this is going to act as like the armor on the shoulder, kind of like a shoulder pad. So I've cut a piece of vinyl. This is 15 inches long, and we're just going to cut some more strips and hem them similar to how we did the other 4 strips. So just using the fabric marker for this, we're gonna cut them out and hem them. So now I have 4 strips. This is for the shoulder, and these are only for the shoulder. I went ahead and made one a little larger than the others just to add some variation in size and texture. And we're gonna fold it just like this.
Now that you have your really long strips, what we're gonna do is we're just going to tack them down. I'm starting with the middle one. I wanna make sure they're even on both sides. And then you're just going to bring this directly in the center, and right where the waistline is, we're just gonna tack it down. You can do this on yourself or have someone help you, but it's easier if you have a mannequin so you can actually see how it's gonna look. So let's start off with one of the thin ones, and we are just going to place it right along here as if it were a shoulder pad. I'm just lining up this end right here, and then the back as well. Now we're gonna grab the thick one, and it's going to go right. So pin it. I'm actually gonna pin this here so it doesn't move. I'm gonna pin right here. And you're gonna grab another thin one, and this one is actually going to lay. I'm gonna place it underneath on the inside, and it's gonna be a little shorter. So, and it's the thinnest one, and it's gonna pin this one down.
So after everything was tacked down, I took a step back and didn't like the way it looked, so feel free to do any adjustments. It's kind of just working your way through it and making some guesses, so have fun with it. So now to attach all of these pieces together, I'm going to be using these studs. They have the little teeth at the bottom, and they look like this in the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick it through. This is going to link them all together. So you can see I have one connected here, and I'm gonna connect that for all of the strands that I have so it can make one cohesive piece. So here it is with the studs, and we did 3 studs attaching the bottom, 3 in the middle, and 2 on the top portion. Since this one seemed to be a little thicker and it was really hard for the stud to go through, we're just gonna use some glue to adhere this piece down. So here's the back. It looks a little bit different, but I think it still looks fine. And we have a little bit of excess fabric here, so I'm just going to tuck it underneath and glue it down. So now I am trying on the actual piece and seeing how it fits with the belt on, and I went ahead and had some help tacking that down. So go ahead and pin down the front portion where you'd like your strands to hang. You can put it back on your mannequin because it makes it so much easier, and attach them with the studs. Don't forget to cut off the excess fabric at the bottom portion underneath the belt all the way around this whole harness. So for the last portion, this is the belt accessory. You're going to need a belt, and I went ahead and got this at a secondhand store, and it was very inexpensive. For the fabric, I'm going to use some leftover fabric of the lace fabric that I had, and we're also going to use another beige type of earthy tone fabric. So first thing you want to do is try on the belt, and you're going to mark on the belt where you want the fabric to come up to. I've marked it with these 2 pins so you guys can see it. This is where I'm going to be adding my fabric. So depending on how long you want the fabric to hang, I would suggest measuring this to your height. So I went ahead and just decided to cut my fabric in half. And it doesn't really matter if it's neat, since it is gonna be pretty tattered. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some bunches of fabric. I'm cutting multiple pieces of this lace, and we're just going to bunch it together to make it nice and poofy. So I'm bunching it together, and I'm just going to lay it down where I think it's gonna be, and I am going to adhese it with some glue. I'm using my good old friend E6000. He sticks with me through the hard times. For the other fabric, I am literally just cutting a sliver and tearing it in half. So you can see it's really just kind of working your magic and making it however you like it to be. There's multiple ways that you can make it. There's multiple styles that you can make this. So just remember to have fun with it and put your style into it. So So now I'm just adding some glue onto the belt, and I want to put more glue than I think I'm going to need because I really don't want this coming undone. So now I'm just going to get a piece of fabric and place this all along the belt, and I'm kind of folding it in certain places so we can get some nice folds and curves in the fabric. You can wear gloves with this because the glue does seep through the fabric. And then we're just going to add more glue and adhese the excess parts onto the belt. So once it's all glued down, I'm going to grab a piece of felt and cut it to the size of my belt. And then I'm going to add some more glue right on the back of this, and we're going to place it on top of the fabric just so it can look a little nicer and also help adhese it down to make sure that nothing comes loose. So that is all that I have done for this belt. I hope you guys enjoyed this and gives you a little insight of what went behind making the costume. Be sure to head over to our Cosmic Confetti blog to see all of the images from the shoot and check out all of the girls involved in Cosmic Confetti because they have created some amazing DIYs around the shoot as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time, I will see you all later. Bye!